Hello everyone, this is Justin here from A.F.C Gaming, and I'm going to be doing a short tutorial on Gnomoria. If you don't know what Gnomoria is, it's like a 2D-ish like city builder kind of game. There's enemies, you gotta craft food and farm and build walls and workstations and stuff. It's a pretty fun game. Well, this is what it'll look like whenever you first start off. You'll have all your little gnomes in a group, and you see we got some yaks here, and you got some barrels of wine and some crates of food, and you start off with a few basic necessities to get you going. Well, first off, what you'll want to do is you'll want to go to agriculture and create a pasture for your yaks so they don't run off, and they'll just eat straw, which you'll of course need a wheat farm to get straw, which I'll show that in just a little bit. And you can see this little green square here. That means one of the gnomes has a, I guess, like a objective that ends here or has to do with this tile. And right now it's paused, so nothing's really going to happen. But one thing that I like to do before I actually start the game is go to my population and go over to my professions and change the professions how I like. I always want to make the miners be able to do smithing and stuff too, and the farmers, I usually allow them to do the ranching stuff too, just to make sure that things get done. And I also allow the farmers to construct, because I usually have a lot of farmers and it just helps get things done faster. And in my opinion, builders have never really been all too helpful. Maybe later in the game when you have a lot of stuff like for your people to pick up and put into assigned bins, but usually in the beginning I change them to farmers, because it's just, I never see use for them early game. And I also like to make my miners be able to construct things too, so I can go ahead and get some stuff built up. Well, and let's see, you're gonna need wood, so you can either cut down these trees here, right here, or what you could do is that, see, we need to get a wall up, and you can build walls out of wood, or you can build them out of stone. You can build them out of stone, but I usually just go ahead and just clear out the forest and just build the walls out of that. So what I'm going to do is go to agriculture and go to fell trees, and then I'm going to select this whole area right here. Let's make it 32 by 38. And then I can click play. It's going to save. I'm going to click play. And they're going to go out and do what they need to do. Well, while the woodcutters here are cutting down trees, I can tell these other guys, I think it's in agriculture, and then, yeah, right here, forage, and then I can select like these cotton plants right here, and they'll come and they'll start picking those, and these strawberry plants here, because I kind of need those out of the way so I can build my wall, because you will need a wall to keep out enemies and bears and honey badgers and stuff like that, which can be really bad for your gnomes' health. You know, they lose limbs and such. The combat in this game, it looks kind of bland from the outside. You just kind of see two people standing beside each other, but the game generates this really in-depth combat log that it'll explain, like maybe your gnome used a copper hammer and it smashed a goblin in the arm. It'll say like the hammer smashed the skin and smashed the bone, so the goblin can no longer use its arm because it's been mangled by the hammer. and you could also like cut off limbs, cut off individual pieces of limbs like hands or arms or feet, legs, head. You can just dismember people, which is a fairly good combat strategy. And I'm just gonna put this in the fast forward so we can go ahead and start getting this done. And you see these people over here, they're kind of just idling. They don't really have anything to do right now. That's a farmer. That's probably because I don't have any farms up. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a farm so I can get these yaks some food growing. I'm gonna make it kind of big. Let's say 9 by 9, and I'm gonna select wheat, so they'll grow wheat there. The only issue with wheat is that you can't really make food out of it right off the bat. It has to be processed. So it's good to make a secondary farm to start off with. For right now, made out like strawberry or something like that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward it again, and you'll see the farmers run over here and they start tilling the ground. And once they get the tilled ground, or the ground tilled, they'll go and plant the seeds in it, and they'll grow over time. And let's see here. Okay, they're starting to get the wall done. I mean the forest cleared out, so I'm going to go ahead and start building the wall. What you'll do is you'll go to build, go to terrain, and then wall. I'm going to build a log wall. So I'm going to build a wall right here, and then bring it all the way down. There's something in the way right there. I'll get that here in a second. I'll go ahead and build it up here. Once they cut down the rest of those trees, I can just fill in the rest of the wall. Go bring it over here, and there's some stuff in the way there, but I can clear that out here in just a second. Tell them to forage those things that are in the way there. Whoops. There and there, and something in the way there. Yeah. And you see they're coming by to fill in the walls. I'm not going to bother to block this here off because enemies can't go over water, and you don't want to fight near water because your gnomes or the enemies can be knocked into the water and will drown if they can't get out, which I've never had a gnome fall in the water and survive. So I try not to make any fighting areas, like training areas or anything like that, which I'll cover later or maybe in a different video. But I'm actually going to cancel this right here because this will be my entrance into the place. And I'm going to go through and fill in where these logs, where these trees were, so I can finish the wall just like that. And one right there, and some right there, and whoops, log wall. And fill in that right there. And now they're going to go through and fill in the rest of the wall. And a real key task to this game is multitasking, so you can get things up and working as fast as you can. Because you see this right up here, it says the first day of spring, well, the second day of spring, year 1. Once, I think there's 12 days in a month in this game, and there's only 4 different. Okay, there's 4 days. I mean, there's 12 days in a season, and there's 4 seasons. And each season, you'll get gnomes, and you'll get nomads, which are gnomes from other kingdoms, I guess, that'll come and stay at your place, which I'll talk about that in a later video about the more advanced mechanics. But basically, once you get past this first season, goblins can start raiding your town, and you want to be prepared for that. You want to at least have 2 guards that might be able to hold off a few guys. They're only going to send like 2 or 3 weak guys unless you really make them angry or something, which I made the mistake of that once because I thought I could take them later in game, and I sent a few hundred goblin skulls to their town, and they sent their best warriors and killed every single gnome that I had with their steel claymores. It was real bad. But anyway, let's see here. We're going to go ahead and start digging down because I like to build my places underground. The top layer will just be for farms and stuff like that. But my actual like town area is going to be underground because it's a lot easier to do and it's kind of safer as long as you don't dig too deep. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to terrain, go to dig. I'm going to dig stairs down. I'll just start it right there. And you can use the scroll wheel to scroll down through the different layers. I'm going to keep on building stairs down. Ooh, apparently there's something there. Do not want to dig there then. I'll whoops. Let me dig over here because I do not want to dig right there. Did you see how it showed up red? That means there's like a ravine there, and you don't want to get into those, or at least I never do because it's dangerous. Because they can go very deep down, and if they go far enough down, big strong enemies can start spawning, like beetles and spiders or just golems of different sort, and they can really mess your place up. Well, okay, I'm at depth -7, which is a pretty good place to build because things don't spawn at this level even in the darkness, except for golems, but they're not hard as long as you keep your floor clean, because piles of stone or ore that's not actually like piled up in like a storage area has a chance of turning into golems. But at this level nothing spawns. I think at level 8 things start to spawn, and there's a ravine right there, so I'm not going to mine into that. I'm going to go ahead and start digging me out a little area. Let's dig out a little area over here for the gnomes to sleep in, because I'm going to need to make them a little bedroom so they can sleep, so they don't fall asleep on the floor all the time and just they waste time, because they'll sleep like half the day. But if you actually give them good beds and stuff, they sleep significantly less. Okay, see, I just mined out some coal here, which was helpful. I can make some torches to light all this area up. Okay. And now, the first thing you want to do is not go to that. You want to go to build, and then go to workshop. And you'll need to build a crude workshop. That's just the basic workshop that allows you to build everything else in the game. It allows you to build the other workshops. Okay, see, now that's done. And let's see, I probably need to build a carpenter now. And you see, this will turn green because it's in use. And Snow's going to come down here and start cutting wood into, I think, planks, so they can make. You can click on it, of course, or click on this. It says they are making planks for a workbench. And the workbench is for the carpenter over here. It requires a workbench, a chair, and a chisel, which all can be made right here at the crude workbench. And my miner fell asleep mining some sapphires, which they don't really have a use, but they're worth a lot, so you can make them into jewelry and sell them, which I'll get into that in a later video. I'm just going to cover the basics here. And so there's my farms, my yaks here. The yaks eat straw, like right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, I'm going to designate area and make a stockpile. I'm going to make it right here. I'm going to go to goods, scroll down, open up plants, and then click straw. So that'll tell the gnomes to start stacking straw there. So we have 11 straw in this stack and this 16 in this stack. And when they get hungry, they'll walk over there and eat it if they get hungry enough. But later on in, you can make some other things that'll help make that easier. Okay. And he fell asleep on the job. I'm assuming he'll get that done soon though. I need to make some beds. Okay. After they get done mining this out, I will make a little bed area out of that. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and make a stockpile right here for wood, so that this guy will have easy access to wood. And let me also make a, go to designate, go to stockpile. Let me go ahead and make a stockpile for wood. I mean stone, not wood. Anyway, let's see. And I need to tell them to stock stone in that. And the good thing about a new update that they had is that gnomes can pick up a whole stack of stone at a time opposed to just one stone, which makes cleaning up a whole lot easier. And let's go ahead and make a stockpile right here for these gems. And let's make a stockpile right here for this coal. So they'll go ahead and put it in there so it's not just laying on the ground. Okay, now let's see here. We need to go to designate area, and we need to designate this room right here as a dormitory. So I'll highlight the whole room. It's now designated as a dormitory, which a dormitory is just an area that the gnomes can sleep in, that all the gnomes can sleep in. The personal quarters are better. They make your gnomes have to sleep less, but you have to make a personal quarter for each gnome, which is not something that's easy to do at the beginning. Now I'm going to go to build. Go to furniture. I'm going to build a few straw beds right here. And do you see how they're green? That means they're currently working on building that item. So they're bringing the straw to make the beds. And then once they make the beds, whenever the gnomes get tired, they'll automatically go and sleep in those beds. Yeah, let's see how it's going upstairs. Okay, let's see. So the strawberry farm is full. The wheat farm's not quite full. We still have a lot of mess just laying around up here. Okay, let's see. If they will hurry up and build the carpenter, then I'll make a distillery, which is something that you definitely need early game, because you need to be able to make your own drink and such. Because right now I have 116 drink, which will actually last me a long time, but I need to have a self-sustaining source of drink. And let's see here. We need to make a distillery now, just like that. It takes a table and 2 barrels. We already have 2 barrels because we started off with those. And we also have some pine crates. But let me show you how to place those pine crates so we can have more storage in a stockpile. Because as you can tell, this 3x3 stockpile right here can only hold 9 things. But if we go to build, and then storage, then crate, we can place a crate. And since we already have a crate made, because we started off with some, they'll come place it here. And once they do that, if you'll hurry up, and you see it can hold 32 things in it. It already has some strawberries in it, but they will take those out. Oh yeah, we probably need to make a stockpile for food, because that's pretty important too. So let's go down and select food. We'll also need to make one for drink. go make one for drink. And see how they're putting the strawberries in there. Let me go ahead and build, whoops, go ahead and go and build a crate here and here to store more food in, because we're going to need a lot of food storage. And you see we're actually getting yak milk here. That's from the yaks upstairs. The people that have the like this rancher here, people that have the animal husbandry thing selected, means that they will feed the animals and harvest them. They'll go up and milk them or shear them or do whatever that they need to be done. And of course that this butchery thing that you see that's in the that's in the rancher area, all that means is that gnome, like a profession, is able to butcher animals and goblins and stuff for meat, bones, and hide. But right now we're not going to be butchering anything, since we only have yaks. And you can click on your distillery here, and this is a good idea to do. You can say, I want to craft wine, and I want you to repeat till we have like 50 wine. So they will always craft enough drink or enough wine till we have 50 of it. And that's so that you do not use up all of your food, or you don't make too much drink. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to tell them that we need a barrel right here where the drink is, where the drink stuff is. So what they're going to do is that this guy has taken up the job, so he's going to go and cut planks so he can make a barrel. Then they're going to come and put it here, and then the barrels actually hold a lot of storage. They hold 64 of that drink type. But of course, you can only have one drink per barrel. Unlike crates, you can have 32 different things in there if you want to. But probably the last thing that you need to do is build something called a training grounds, which is best to put at your entrance of your place. It's not hard to make. It takes 2 training dummies, which, if I remember correctly, it's like a straw and some sticks. And sticks are just made out of planks. They're really easy to make. But the training grounds allows you to do, it allows you to train your gnomes so they'll slowly gain skill over time. And it's also good because your gnomes, the ones that you have set up to fight, will be at the entrance of your place, so that the first contact between your gnomes and the enemy will be your offensive gnomes, which is always a good idea. They do supply you with a little bit of armor and weapons to begin with, but I will get into that in the next episode about the military aspect of the game, which will be the next episode. And well, I suppose that is it for now. I will post more tutorials later on about Gnomoria and different mechanics and the military aspect of the game and the merchant aspect of the game. Well, I guess that's it, guys. I'll see you all later. Thanks for watching. Bye.